Three, two, one. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Razor from RazorTube coming at you with some more Rust Council Edition content today. Before we get into today's topic, drop that sub like and hit that notification bell for the most up-to-date and recent Rust Council Edition news. Today's topic is tugboats, and they're still glitched, right? Still glitched. They still got a lot of bugs to work out with them, and we still got to get that smoothed out before they come over to the main branch, because currently tugboats are still in the public testing phase. So be aware of that. Anyways, and also we're going to be talking about backpacks and if they're coming soon to council, question mark. So we're going to talk about those two topics now, and sit back and enjoy the show. All right, so recently tugboats got released onto the public testing branch of Rust Council Edition, and they've been awesome to play with since they've been released. Now, although they are pretty smoothed out and they haven't been too glitchy, there are still some important ones, and I mean important ones by glitches, that we need fixed ASAP. And the reason for that is because when raiding tugboats, you cannot use C4 or satchels on the doors. So, with that being said, the only ways to raid these bad boys are Explo ammo. You can either eco-raid it with some metal hammers, or you can actually rocket the doors. That is the only current ways you can actually raid them. Now, obviously, if there's wooden doors and you're brain dead, and you've put wooden doors in the beginning and you haven't switched to metal, you can Molotov them or flamethrow those. But C4 and satchels are still out of the raiding picture. So those are kind of the glitches going on with the tugboats. That has been the only thing that I've ran into. Make sure down low in the comment section you've actually put some of the glitches you've ran into other than what I'm talking about in this video, because it's important to give your feedback to not only me, but give it to Double 11 in their Discord. They want as much feedback as possible as they put this bad boy through the pipeline and get all the data that they need to smooth it out before it releases in main branch on June 27th. Okay, so let's get into the backpacks. What are they? Well, currently on Rust PC, there are two types of backpacks. One is a large backpack and the other is a small. So the large backpack holds 28 slots of items. You can equip it to your guy over above the, what do you call it, the tire bar. And when you spin your guy around, you can see it here. Same goes for small backpack as well. And once you have it on your guy, you can click on it and you literally have 28 slots on there. That's like a Rust Council player's wet dream. So why do I think they're coming soon? The reason why is because in the last dev blog, they mentioned, our backpack's coming soon, and they did not say they aren't, but they're saying they're going to release a roadmap for Rust Council 2024. The 2024 roadmap is probably going to include, you guessed it, either cars, minis, or scrap helos, but most likely our little friend here, the backpack. The reason why I think so is because I think Double 11 needs a little bit of low-hanging fruit that they need to pick content-wise in order to keep the development of Rust Council going until they get to the bigger projects, like you have the scrap helo and the mini, the car. But with that being said, I think the backpack is the perfect candidate for this low-hanging fruit. Why do I think it's good for Rust Council players to have backpacks? When we're out there farming resources, it would be great to have a 28 slot freaking backpack in order to store everything in. It would just be the bomb. I don't care what anybody else says. It would be great. You get a jackhammer, fill that bad boy up, and go to town. Another reason for the backpacks and it being so awesome, it would be great to have during a raid. Now imagine you go to a raid, right? And you're like, okay, let me get a backpack on. I'm going to throw this on with my kit. We're going to go raid. And you have literally 4 slots up here dedicated to like rocket C4. You got your tube, and then after you raid that big old Chad base because they've been pissing you off all wipe, it would be nice to store their loot right inside of my backpack and take it home and then sort through it like a freaking Christmas present that was underneath a Christmas tree. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to tinker around with that type of mechanic inside of Rust Council. I don't think it would be hard for them to implement at all. Double 11 definitely can pull that off. It's a real simple thing to add to the game, at least in my opinion. When it goes on the character, honestly, it's not a lot to render in. Granted, we do have old gens right now in the mix with Rust Council, so I think it would be great. It would be great to have, and just a good piece of content that improves the quality of life. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, so I've gotten a lot of questions about tugboats and what they are actually used for. Now, keep in mind, everything that I shared with you is in one of the guides that I just posted on my channel, so you can go check that out, or you can click it in the upper right-hand corner, and it would be right there. Boom. All right, so what are tugboats for? And this is my opinion. You can give your hot take in the comment section below, but this is what I use it for. I use it for quick kits, okay? Literally, I use the tugboat as a fob. Well, I'm going to raid a base. I open the door. I'm like, hey, Joey, stop the tugboat. And I come in here, and I grab this bad boy, and I'm kitted out of my mind, and I go out, jump on the shore, and start raiding a base. Another thing it's good for is resource production. I can't stress this enough. Although this is kind of all staged and propped out of its mind, I use this for storage, just like this, with all of my boxes. I raid monuments, a bunch of them. I'll hit small oil, I'll hit large oil, I'll hit lighthouse, I'll hit cargo, all with this tugboat. Then I'll store all the loot in my boxes, take it back to base, we're good to go. Now, I do have a tier 3 here with the obvious T-table, right? But T-tables to make gunpowder, and I'm just going to make gunpowder and smelt wood in here and sulfur, and then take it all out, turn it into some rounds and some boom boom, and go outside and raid a base. What this is not good for, right? It's good for storage, kitting up, for a fob. It's good for defensive moves, like if you're on shore and you got a tugboat, right, to come in and use as a spawn point because somebody's attacking your shore base. Great. If you want to use it as offense where you just ram it up on shore and then you start raiding a base, great. It is not used for a main base. I also said that in my guide. I'm not going to go too far into it. I've seen a ton of people get on these, put deployables all down, right, and then they use it as their main base. Do not put everything you own on this freaking ship, all right? Literally, you can sink this with 12 torpedoes and just put it in the bottom of the ocean, wait for it to either decay or go down there, or shoot from above with rockets, blow up the door, take all the loot. This is not a main base at all. Make sure you have a main base on land and just use this to travel around and use it as like a tank, right? It takes bullets, it takes rounds, and you can counter oil rig with it or cargo with it. It's a great resource that way. And I'm going to say it one more time because I know there's that guy who's like, hey, this video is about blah, blah, blah. And I watched the first 30 seconds. I'm a moron. Listen, dude who watches videos for 30 seconds, this is not a main base. In the beginning of a wipe, stash a freaking go kit for capturing a tugboat, whether it be with wood doors or with metal doors. Bury it next to the harbor. When one of these bad boys spawn, get in it, start farming, build a main base, and then put this bad boy out in the middle of the ocean with a spawn bag. So if you do get raided, you can maybe leave a few resources in here to do it, to literally come back and snowball, right? But that is literally what this is for. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I use it as my main base. I was like, no way, dude. There is no way you can do that. Anyways, that's enough for me. Hopefully we see these glitches smoothed out over the next, week? What do we get? What is it today? The 14th, right? Let me check. No, it's the 16th. I'm an idiot. So I hope by the 27th this is all smoothed out, which I think it will be. And hopefully we get these backpacks soon. I'm going to leave you with that. And then one more thing today. If you're a dad, if you're a father, happy Father's Day. I appreciate every one of you. And I will see you next video. Get the hell out of here.